Let's talk about this silly woman who has been donned the moniker of Central Park Karen.
We got another
Her
Karen in the
name
building.
is yeah, her name is
And
Amy Cooper.
I
And
like the name
she
though.
is in the news again because she has recently decided to sue her ex-employer, get this, for discrimination of all things. Listen to the hypocrisy of that bullshit.
Shit,
So for those
discrimination.
of you, so before I throw it to Mr. PAT with the official question, for those of you who don't know, Amy Cooper is a white lady who called the police on a black man this was in Central Park, who was basically just a bird watcher, right? He was not doing anything in any kind of negative way, and she calls the police, and she's basically making claims that he threatened her and her dog, which no such incident happened. And the thing is, the man was videotaping the entire situation. So as a result of the incident that occurred, her job fired her. They made an official statement that says, "We do not tolerate racism of any kind at Franklin Templeton," which is an investment firm. And they actually made that comment the day after the incident occurred. So apparently they have fired her, and she is filing a lawsuit that her company discriminated against her because of her race and gender. So the official question is, why is Central Park Karen suing a company for firing her based on her racist behavior? So I'm going to go ahead and throw this to Mr. PAT. What say you, sir?
so the title of the article that I read is Amy Cooper didn't learn much from her time as Central Park Karen. I agree with that title.
I love that.
I wholeheartedly agree with that title.
Oh, repeat that. Repeat the headline for me again.
The headline is Amy Cooper didn't learn much from her time as Central Park Karen.
That's what happened to hoes when they don't listen.
Pretty much. But so like I said, I agree with the title. I mean, when you read it, it's obvious that she didn't learn. She could be a prime example of how something like so-called racial sensitivity training or anything along those lines won't make someone unracist. It's clear as day that she didn't learn her lesson when you read her statement against Christian Cooper, the black man that she tried to weaponize the police on. She has, as stated before, she has filed a lawsuit against the firm she used to work for called Franklin Templeton. And in that lawsuit, she said that Christian Cooper was, and this is in quotes, an overzealous bird watcher engaged in Central Park's ongoing feud between bird watchers and dog owners.
Oh, time out. So this Karen right here, she's already been a Karen and she's still doing Karen like things out there again.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's
wholeheartedly.
That's what's going on. Yeah.
Oh, she about to get dusted by me.
So
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm about to go in on her.
But yeah, that's what she's doing. She's still being a Karen, being a Ku Klux Karen. So it's clear that
I like that.
yeah, Ku Klux Karen. You know, that's what her and others like her are. So it's clear that she is still a racist because she was not only caught on camera dialing 911 to lie about a black man threatening her life, but after suffering the consequences of that, she still went and pulled the white woman victim card and targeted Christian Cooper in her statement. Now, here's where I pivot a little bit. Christian Cooper, and this is going to be a pretty controversial statement, but I'm going to just say it straight out. Christian Cooper had this coming. Reason he had this coming is because while Amy Cooper was dealing with the repercussions for her racist actions, he didn't feel that she needed to have her life torn apart. This is what he said. Now, I'm not saying that he forgave this woman. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. But when Black people go light on these suspected
clown shit,
it's some real clown shit. But the thing is, Black people go light on suspected white supremacists for their racist actions towards us. It's really just not a good look. It's not a good look at all. Black people who do that are goofy as fuck, in my opinion. Y'all are real goofy, straight up. Y'all are goofy as fuck. I mean, her life might have been torn apart, but she was the one who did that. Her life being, quote unquote, torn apart, that's her fault. If her life was torn apart, I mean, I say, oh well. Oh well, you fucked your life up.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's just what it is.
Consequences of your actions.
Right, it's
accountability.
You don't even want to know what just came in my mind right now. I'm gonna tell you like this. What you just said, it reminded me of that same situation when you said when you had to forget about, that Justice League movie that. I'm sorry, that skipped him.
But yeah,
but let's continue.
But yeah, I mean, I just say, oh well, to her, I guess saying her life was torn apart, her crying about it or whatever. Like, I mean, nobody gives a fuck, honestly. I don't give a fuck. I don't think anybody else does. I mean, anytime these racist women and men, in some cases, feel the need to weaponize the police on Black people, they know what they're doing. They're very conscious in the decisions that they make. This is no different from when Black men were falsely accused back in the day of rape and being lynched for it. Emmett Till was murdered based on a false accusation.
Ooh-wee.
I mean, if we got to go back in history, I mean, we already know the deal. But the fact of the matter is, racist people are cowards, and they are cowards because the depths that they would go to harm Black people. I mean, obviously it's egregious. And I mean, for us, for Black people, it's something that, and really everybody else, not just Black people, but everybody else, it's just something not to take lightly. We just shouldn't take these types of things lightly. If these so-called Karens have to have their lives ruined, then so be it. It's not Black people's job to continuously turn the other cheek and forgive. I say, fuck all that forgiveness shit. That's just, my whole thing. Fuck this forgiveness shit. Let's punish these people. In life, there are consequences. There are consequences for your actions. We all face consequences. No one is exempt from that. So I personally don't care whether or not these people like or accept Black people. I really don't care, because I believe people are free to say and do whatever they want. However, those people are not free from the consequences. If you're someone who thinks it's okay to do racist shit, then guess what? You can just be branded as a racist. Not only that, but you can lose your job. You can lose other things in your life. You can get your ass whooped. You can most certainly get dealt whatever harsh consequences come your way. Whatever those consequences are, there are people like myself and others who don't give a fuck about your tears. We don't care about how you suffered after an incident. We just don't care. I mean, why should we? When you didn't give enough of a fuck about Black life whenever you felt uncomfortable. So yeah, this woman's suing the place that she used to work at, and crying about perceived discrimination against herself is really just a joke. That's my take on it.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Definitely agree and appreciate those points. We're going to go ahead and throw this to E-Man. Again, the question is, why is Central Park Karen suing a company for firing her based on her racist behavior? What say you, sir?
Oh man, sorry about that. I had to like chill out for a little bit and actually had to smoke a little lavender and whatnot. But man. So this is the same Karen that we had to deal with the last time, right? The same one. That's what it seems like. Well, first things first. You, man, you need to stop making every white woman European out here looking bad. That's the first thing. All these Karens out here, y'all need to stop making them look, because there's some good ones out here. There's a bunch of them out. Y'all need to stop making them look bad. That's the first thing and whatnot. If you guys got problems and whatnot, go find a man, go sleep with somebody, but get y'all lives together and whatnot. Because it seemed like everyone wants to just keep pushing moments because something bad happened to me, and now I don't even want to say a pity party, but it seems like you just want to keep destroying, bad people. Like, come on. Oh man. I'm gonna try to say this as lightly as I can and whatnot. This new, this whole me, talking about, not saving these hoes. It seems like I'm about to push a new movement, and this is what's about to happen. We're about to start doing this. We're not saving Karens and we're not saving hoes anymore, because this shit just got to stop. Like, this is ridiculous and whatnot. How I'm not even sure if it's possible that you can sue on discrimination and whatnot. I didn't even know that was a thing and whatnot. But she's using the card. The simple fact is, because of her skin color and her being, a woman and whatnot. I get it. I definitely get it. There's been a lot of mistreating of, women all across the board. But to say, I lost my job because of this and that, I'm like, woman, please, you just need to go sit somewhere, go find yourself a good man, and just stay out of the light and whatnot. Just you need to get your life together and whatnot. The whole thing. Because this is fucking ridiculous. Like, it really is and whatnot. So I don't know what you're trying to justify, other than the simple fact, to me, if this is the same Karen we had to deal with the same, I think, that had the, hopefully I'm right, the one that she called them the black and whatnot. Like, if this is the same person, I'm like, yo, you haven't even learned from your first mistake, like, at all. So stop trying to put yourself in this limelight like you're trying to create a movement for no fucking reason, but you're doing it for your own self-pity and whatnot. Because why? You probably want to get paid more. You probably want this. You probably want that. But you're not getting what you want. And that's making you very upset. So that's the reason why you're doing all these wild, stupid, crazy, sick, vendetta, like, wild shit, just to, like, get everyone to get this attention on yourself. Like, get a life. Go get your life together. Like, literally just go get your life together. Because I don't even know what to say anymore, because dealing with the same shit with the same person who wants to keep justifying things that you don't need to justify, knowing she's probably not going to win in court, but it's a very laughable story, because to me, she's very, she wants to be this weird, charismatic person and whatnot. But for all those who have the actual name Karen, from E-Man, I just want to apologize to yourself, because it's sad that we have to use a common name to turn it now into slang. Now, when everyone hears the word Karen, now everyone's going to start losing their mind and whatnot. It's just very sad that, people's actions are ruining good people's names and whatnot for no reason. And what I mean by that, basically, using a common name, and now we're going to find this in the Black Urban Dictionary, whatnot. And when it says Karen, it's probably going to say, you know, a disobedient, you know, white European woman and whatnot. But that's a whole nother like story and whatnot. Do we need a disclaimer for that? I just need to make sure. Do we need one? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know.
They don't need no disclaimer.
Yeah, no,
not for the Karens anyway.
Oh, okay. Right. Sorry. So this is what. So E-Man now has a new PSA. You know, we ain't saving no Karens, and we're not saving no hoes. So it's the no save hoes movement and whatnot. Yes,
Laura.
We're not saving them. Don't save them. All right. Just like Project Pack said, we can't be saving these hoes out here, man. What's wrong with us? We can't and whatnot. No matter of fact, I'm gonna go put it on the shirt and whatnot. That's what I'm about to do.
My goodness.
We're going to have to make sure this movement moves down pretty well. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. So yeah. So
all right. Well, thank you for that point. And you know, for me, this is very cut and dry. The hypocrisy of the entire thing is fucking laughable. She is suing her ex-employer for discrimination. The fucking hypocrisy is too loud for the room, guys. She's suing them for discrimination. The very thing that she got fired for herself. So just so you understand, just before I make my point, I want to read something. This is the actual terminology she used in the phone call to the police. She says, I'm in the ramble and there's a man, African American. He's got a bicycle helmet. He's recording me and threatening me and my dog. That's what she told the emergency dispatcher. Okay. And then so during that time, the bird watcher, he's not Christian Cooper. He does not come closer to her. He remained calm. He just continues videotaping. And she actually says, I'm sorry, I can't hear. Are you there? I'm being threatened by a man in the ramble. Please send the cops immediately. Guys, that kind of terminology could have very well had that situation ending with Christian Cooper dead. Okay, because we all know what we face in this country as far as the police and Black people. Okay, right. She used terminology that could have purposely ended with that man losing his life.
Facts.
So I have no fucking empathy for her in any way whatsoever about losing her job. I have no empathy for her being called a Karen. It's that simple. At the end of the day, what this showcases is two things. One, she didn't learn a fucking thing from this incident. And two, not only was her racism at play, but her privilege is at play. She thinks she actually has the audacity, the fucking unmitigated gall to sue her ex-employer for discrimination when it was the very reason she was fired in the first place.
Right.
I just can't. I'm sorry, but my mind can't wrap around this shit because, bruh, really?
Why you think I said we can't be saving hoes? Like,
listen,
that's what I'm saying.
If it were another reason, I might be able to comprehend it better. But for discrimination, and she cited her race and her gender, when the very act that got her in this position was because she was being racist towards a Black man, is completely baffling to me. Like, this shit is completely, I don't know that if I were the judge on this case, that I could actually look her in her face during the trial, because I would have to recuse myself as the judge because of how fucking stupid that entire situation and how ridiculous it is. It speaks to her racism. It speaks to her privilege. It speaks to the fact she hasn't learned a goddamn thing from this incident. Nothing. She learned absolutely nothing. She did not come to the realization that what she did was put that man in very true and mortal danger. She did not learn that what she did was racist and ridiculous. And then furthermore, she is showcasing her privilege, or at least her perceived privilege, by actually having the audacity to sue her ex-employer. It's ridiculous. But you know what it is? It is a great example of people choosing and electing to live within a box, to live within their comfort zone. This is an example of her feeling so privileged that she could get away with this bullshit. She's so comfortable with the privilege that she has that she had the audacity to do this. Most people would try to lay fucking quiet so that enough time goes by where perhaps they can try to apply for another job somewhere.
Exactly.
Not her.
Smart thing for her to do.
Not her. She don't need to do that because I'm a white woman in America and I say I've been wrong, so I've been wrong. That has to be what she's thinking, because what the fuck? Anyone else would be laying quiet trying to let this shit blow over so that they can apply somewhere else.
Right, yeah.
And you see why she needs sex in her life? You see why, right? You see why.
Man, that, you know what? Fuck that. She needs a reality check. She needs to be woken up to the severity of what she's done. And to Pat's point, that's not going to happen when the victim, Christian Cooper, is fucking caping for her. And it's not that nothing good comes from him caping for her. None. She doesn't learn her lesson.
Stop laughing.
There's no, if he had just even tiny bit of firmness in this regard, and that's for lack of a better term. But if he stood his ground on this shit and said, no, I want to file, charges for defamation of character and etc. If he had any gumption from that perspective, that would actually be helpful to this situation, because perhaps she would learn something. But as a result of that, she has not. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. It's ridiculous. It's hypocrisy at its best. It's privilege at its best. It's her not learning her fucking lesson and remaining a racist at its best. It's that simple. There's no other way to sum this up, in my opinion. And so if I have to answer the specific question of why is Central Park Karen suing a company for firing her based on her racist behavior, it's because she didn't learn a fucking thing. She's still a racist, and she feels she has the privilege and ability to do so. Not to mention, Christian Cooper has caped for her, when instead he should have been taking things to the full extent he could. And yes, I am saying what I think he should have done, even though I'm not the victim, because you know why? I am a victim, just like every other Black person who has to deal with situations like these on a regular fucking basis. The entire Black community is a victim. And when we have the opportunity to fight back, we should fucking take it on behalf of every one of us that don't have that ability anymore, because they're not above ground.
That's right.
She did it because she could. She did it because he allowed it. She did it because she believes in her heart of hearts she has that privilege as a white woman in America. And I'm not saying that all white women are bad. Let me clarify this. I'm not saying all of anyone are bad, because that would make me no better than the people who are doing the oppressing. I have very many friends of all different races, creeds, ethnicities, nationalities. I want to be clear about that. However, this woman is clearly an example of a white woman in America who is under the impression that her privilege will allow her to operate with impunity. That's what this is about.
Yep.
Don't
That's
save
simple.
her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
You are
She don't want to
I
be
mean, pretty
saved.
much
Don't
fuck her
save
and
her.
fuck everyone
You
like
don't
her.
wanna be-
You know,
Exactly.
That's what it is. Like,
Exactly right. Yeah, this is unacceptable for me.
yeah.
I'm sorry. There's no way to sugarcoat any fucking thing about it. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion that she would even do such a thing after being fired, where you would think most people would try to be laying low and staying quiet. The fact that she isn't just proves her comfort level as far as being able to get her fucking way. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. I hope not only that she's ruled against, but she's made to pay the lawyer fees of the firm. That's what I hope. I hope she's ruled against. She's made to pay the lawyer fees of the firm, and the fucking city decides to sue her for wasting the police's time when they could have been out saving someone else. That's what I hope for. She needs to learn her lesson. She clearly didn't learn.
She might learn one day. She gonna learn one day.
Don't save her.
Hopefully, but I
She
mean,
don't want to be saved.
It's so crazy.
Like I
But
said,
before we move on to the next subject, did you fellas have anything else you wanted to throw in there?
yes, there is one more thing I had to throw in there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
I
Don't
should have
save
seen that
her.
one coming.
talking about these Ku Klux Karens out here. That's who
There,
we're talking about.
exactly. You need to you may need to copyright that PAT Ku Klux Klan.
Now you know it's funny though. I didn't come up with that term though. I saw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somebody I'm subscribed to on YouTube. He came up with the term. So
Okay.
I just kind of
like it.
Yeah, I mean it's a perfect description of these women. You know.
Absolutely, especially this one.
Yep.
This is a perfect example. So,